wherever you are right now. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Josephine Francisca.
And my name is Yuni Susanti.
And I am Uri Sudawati.
We are from Group 2 of TEFL Methodology class.
We are Master Study of English Language Education student of Tanjung Pura University.
Today, we are going to explain about case method. So, I am Umi Sudawati will explain about the definitions of case method, and my friend
Me, Yuni Susanti, I will cover the guided question and also will explaining the free activity. And next,
and me, Josephine Francisca, will be delivering to you the concept of the main activity from the teachers and also the post activity. Let's begin.
Now, we are going to go to the definitions of case methods. Do you know what is case methods? From the words, maybe you can guess what is case method. Case method is, according to Curie 2022, case method is an interactive, participative, and discussions-based learning approach that allows both teachers and the students to experience a complexity, ambiguities, and uncertainties of case protagonists. So in these methods, the teacher will guide the conversations and the students will evaluate the problems in real-life business scenarios by analyzing, formulating a solutions, and then discussing it. So through these activities, it will train students' critical thinking, where the students will do the collaboration works and do the communications to their friends. In this strategy, it will assist the students to gain the 360 degrees of the situation. And this opinion, it is supported by Burris and Tomlin in Helmut Silver 2004, which they said that so the case method is almost like the problem-based learning. So what is problem-based learning? So problem-based learning is where the situations, the students will solve the problems and reflect on their experiences. And this problem-based learning is well suited to help the students becoming active learners, because in these situations, they will learn the real-world problems and makes the students are more responsible for their learnings. So this problem-based learning, it will emphasize it will help the learners to develop the strategies and construct their own knowledge. So here in this presentation, we are going to present the one of the activities that can be applied in problem-based learning. That is the teaching of problem-based learning, and the activities as opinion sharing activities. So there will be integrated skills that is in this classroom activities, that is listening and speaking skills. So there will be a case that is presented by the teachers. So in these presentations, the case will be about the diversity. As we know, Indonesia is rich with its own local traditions. So one of the local traditions is the local language. So Indonesia has around 301 of the local languages. Therefore, there are some tribes that have different ways how they utterance for their speaking to their interlocutors. So, for example, in some race, just like Sundanese and Japanese, they have different ways how to speak, how to utterance their own speaking. For example, like people said is soft language and rough languages. So that's all the case. Now we go on for the next. It will be explained by my friends, please.
Okay, thank you. So from the case that has been mentioned before about the local languages in Indonesia, after that the teacher will ask to the student following the guided question as the first, does it influence your responses, the student responses to other when someone talks to you by using soft and rough accent? If yes, why do you think so? And the second question, how the Sundanese and Japanese encounter with this issue? And the third question, how this accent will affect their social relation to others? And the last question, what we supposed to do in facing this diversity of language utterance? And then we go to the main activity. The activity in the classroom, it consists of pre-activity, main activity, and post-activity. The first is pre-activity. The teacher raised the issue towards the diversity to encourage open and respectful responses. And then the teacher will show to the student the language diversity in Indonesia. It's the video. And then after they have watched the video, they will review the video together, and the student can share their opinion and their experience regarding to the video. And then the main activity will be delivered by my friend.
Alright, in the main activity, the teacher needs to consider 4 points here. The first one is emphasize the importance of keeping the focus on ideas, content, arguments and implications, and not the person delivering them. So the teacher here teaching the students the soft skills and suggests the students to be particularly patient as they and their classmates work to describe their views and arguments. The second point, the teacher needs to introduce the case to the students, like my friend Umi mentioned before about the case. It is diversity in Indonesia and focusing on the local languages, which is parted into 2 kinds of languages, soft one and then also the rough one or the harsh accents. The third one, in group of 3, they need to discuss and answer the questions that my friend Uni mentioned before. And the fourth is the students conclude all the information that have been discussed and construct their perspectives towards the language diversity in Indonesia. After doing the main activity, we've come to the post-activity. Here, the teacher recommends the students to be open-minded and do not take others' opinions too personal. Another soft skills being taught here. The second one, the teacher thanks students for sharing their views and gives feedback to them. The third one, teacher concludes the whole activity and also closes the meeting or the class that day. So we've come to the performance.
Okay, now we come to the performance. Me, Yuni Susanti, I will act as the lecturer, and Josephine Francisca and Umi Wisudawati will be the students. Okay, because we don't have enough time, so I will skip some part regarding to the time. So let's begin. Good morning, class. Welcome back to me again. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic. We will discuss about the diversity. Maybe some of you already familiar with the diversity. It could be diversity from all over the world, but today we will only focus the diversity, especially in Indonesia. Before we go further, I want to ask Josephine and Umi's opinion. What do you know about diversity? Maybe Josephine, you can go first. What do you know about diversity?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I think diversity is our icon in Indonesia because we are so rich with the differences in languages, in religions, even our own thoughts. We have different different kinds of thinking about something, about the thing that we believe, and also talking about twins. Even though they look the same, they are different, the characteristics and others. That's from me, ma'am.
Okay, very good, Josephine. How about Umi? What do you think about diversity?
Yes, ma'am. So diversity, that is right what Yasmin said. So when we come to Indonesia, Indonesia is rich. Yeah, we have a lot of cultures. We have a lot of diversity in music instruments, in songs, in like local languages, in anything in Indonesia are rich. So I think diversity is something that is unique where not all countries have it. So as Indonesia, we are rich with diversity, so we have to proud of it.
Okay, very good. Josephine and Omi, you have shared your idea, and that is correct. Diversity means, especially in Indonesia, we have different kind of local tradition, local language, religion, and it's rich. And as the topic that we bring up today, now I have a case. As we have mentioned, Indonesia is a rich with its local tradition, right? For instance, it's the local language. We will focus on the language. There are 301 of Indonesian local languages, and therefore there are some tribes and have different ways how to utterance their speaking to the interlocutor. Here, for example, like Sundanese and Japanese, where they tend to speak by using soft and rough accent. Right? Now, I want you to discuss in a pair. Following my question, as my case I have mentioned before, does it influence your responses to others when someone talks to you by using soft and rough accent? If it's yes, why do you think so? Okay, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Umi, you can go first. Umi, what do you think, Umi?
Yes, I think yes, it does influence my responses when that person talks soft or either harsh accents to me. So that's totally influence my responses. For example, there will be someone who talk very soft, very polite to me, so I'm going to respond to them with polite way also. I will choose good words how to express my my utterances. But on the other hand, if that person talks something impolite or in using harsh accents, so I will just like I will thought that person will have bad intentions on me. So there's why my responses will be not as friendly as before. That's my opinion.
Okay, I conclude that that's your opinion from your discussion with Josephine. Now we come to the next question. How the Sundanese and Japanese encounter with this issue? As we know, Sundanese and Japanese is kind of the language that we can say it's a soft accent. How they encounter with this issue? For example, when they are very soft and then suddenly someone talk harsh to them. I mean, it's not really harsh, but that's the way how their accent. How the Sundanese and Japanese encounter with this issue? How about this, Josephine?
All right, ma'am. I think Japanese and Sundanese, who has the more polite languages or soft ones, will see this as at the first meeting. Probably they will step aside, and then consider that this kind of people are not the same. Let's say same level with them, but I think when we as a human, when we as a neighbors who live together in one place, we can adapt and we can see other kind of languages that should be respect also by us. And And also Sundanese and Javanese, I think they'll know how to react to that kind of situation. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Josephine. From these two questions, that's correct. How does it influence our response to other when someone talks by using soft and rough accent? For example, like Umi has mentioned before, if we are Japanese and we every day we talk softly in a soft language, polite language, suddenly like the what like Batakese suddenly come and talk, of course they feel like step aside and is that person angry or what? That's maybe the first impression. But as Josephine has mentioned, also when at the first we will the soft, the polite language like Japanese and Sundanese will feel is that something wrong with me, but when time by time they adapt, they need to understand that that's diversity. Indonesia has a lot of local languages and we need to adapt and we need to what we say, we need to live together with them. So that's I agree with Josephine and Umi's opinion. Now we come to the next question. If the Sundanese and Japanese, how they encounter the issue, and then how this accent will affect their social relation to others. Will be the Sundanese and Japanese will just hanging out with the Sundanese and Japanese with the polite language, or they can together live together with the other local language that not kind of a rough language. What do you think about this, Umi? Maybe you can share your opinion.
Yeah, so this accent will affect their social relations to others. So I think, just like what Josephine said, when those people are adjust, they adapt to their society already. So when they already adjust, I think they can be more flexible when they are talking. So for example, they have to know who are their interlocutors first, so they know what kind of languages they're going to use. So for example, like when that people is just like Batakese, so you can use just like your usual languages, maybe it's just a rough or the harsh languages. But when you talk to someone is like someone who likes to talk in polite way, softly, something like that, so you have to choose your own appropriately. So by having that adjustment, so I say it will be good. Both of them will have a good relationship. So there is no more there will no more problems in the society because they try to be more flexible. They try to adjust with their society. So I think that's one of the way how to keep the peace in our society. But of course, that accent, it will affect to their relations in the socials. So one of the way how to keep that in peace, so we have to be more flexible.
Okay, very good, okay. Now we go to the next question. This is the last question. And then what we supposed to do in raising that have been this, what we supposed to do in raising this diversity of language utterance? Josephine, maybe you can share your opinion.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. What we supposed to do if we are facing this diversity, especially in languages, we need to be respectful. We need to be proud of it. We live not in our own island. We live with other people. We need their support. We need their help. And of course, we need to understand that we are so unique with our own languages with our own races, and by raising the local languages that we have, this is a great example. This is a great role model for other people in another part of the world, because Indonesian people, also known as people who can live peaceful with other people without making a war or something like that, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Josephine and Umi. We have discussed the question, and Umi and Francisca also share their opinion about the question. So now I want to invite the both of you to conclude all the information that we have discussed answering the question. Regarding to the perspective toward the language diversity in Indonesia, I will give you a minute to discuss, and then I will ask you to conclude all the following question that we have discussed. Okay, start from now. Okay, time is up. Now, Umi or Josephine, who wants to conclude all the information that we have been discussed?
So as you said, okay.
Go on, please.
Is it Umi or Josephine?
Yes, ma'am. So in my perspective, according to what we have discussed just now, also we are talking about diversity in languages. So as we know, language is very important. So Indonesian as the united languages, where it has to be used with all the Indonesian people, but we cannot deny that the diversity of Indonesians with all the local languages we have to acquire. So I think as Indonesian, we have to respect each other. We have to appreciate each other, because when we all respect on other people's opinion, languages, and cultures, so it will help us to live together. So whatever their language are, no matters how their cultures are, so we have to respect, we have to appreciate each other. So when we try to adjust, when we try to do some adaptations on that culture, so there will be no more fight. It's just like nowadays people are keep fighting with some minor issues because of that. They don't respect each other, they don't appreciate people's opinions. So no matter what the cultures are, just respect and appreciate. Remember, we are nations, we are united in one. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Umi and Josephine. Now I will conclude all the activity that we have been discussed. Before that, I want to appreciate that Umi and Josephine, you are doing a good job. Both of you can respect each other, while the other friends deliver their opinion and argument, and the other friend didn't disrupt and cut while they are talking. That's very good, because we are focused on our topic and our argument. And please do not take too personal. We just sharing our opinion, and that is true that what Umi has mentioned before, Indonesia has a rich, especially in local languages. To be able to live together, we need to respect each other culture and language. For example, like the first, maybe we need a time to adapt, but along the time by time, we can adapt. We get familiar with their culture. That's how we live in Indonesia. Indonesia has a lot of diversity that help us to live together by respect, by showing showing our respect to each other culture. That's very important. Okay, I think that's all about our